Jamaicans, open on the third eye. Open up on the third eye and look. But by the way, did you know you have a third eye? Yes, utilize it. Look.
I passed the stage of trying to, or needing to win political popularity and favor. Doesn't matter to me anymore. I have to start to think about legacy.
The Siaga family's legacy in politics and culture remains influential, although their direct political power has diminished. The Siaga family has an estimated net worth of $100 million.
I passed the stage of trying to, or needing to win political popularity and favor. Doesn't matter to me anymore. I have to start to think about legacy.
Welcome to Jamaica, an island renowned for its vibrant culture, beautiful landscapes, and rich history. But behind the scenes, a select group of families wield significant influence over the island's economy. Today, we delve into the world of Jamaica's 21 most powerful families. Our journey begins with the colonial history that set the stage for their dominance. During the colonial era, immigrants from Europe, the Middle East, and Asia arrived in Jamaica, establishing businesses that would eventually grow into vast empires. These families, often of Jewish, Lebanese, Chinese, and Indian descent, now control substantial portions of Jamaica's economy. Let's explore some of these influential families in detail, starting with their origins, business ventures, and impact on Jamaica's economy. At number 1, the Lechin family.
Today should not be a day of too many formalities, but since I have the Honorable Michael Lechin here, I will acknowledge him with his full formal title. But generally we just say Mike.
Now welcome back to another exclusive live. Now blessing goes out to all my viewers and all my subbies, all my well wishers. Like, share, and also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Coming up in today's topic and review.
My viewers, so you know what that all is about. Here, this is my favorite part of the song. Mr. Andrew Holness, you need to stop these things, big man. Cause me no know what kind of city this year big dog to the people them of Jamaica, you know. What kind of Pocomania something this year bring down upon the people them. Eh? What is this? You need to stop these things, man. You need to stop these things, and people want to open up on the third eye and stop play blind to what's going on, you know. Don't you see the things them this man a put down upon the nation? Now we Jamaicans is no stranger to this kind of Pocomania or whatever, revival or whatever it is, because this is the same kind of practice that Edward Siaga used to do. And as him as your mentor, I noticed that you follow some of the things them that Edward Siaga do. But may I say this, you know, you say Edward Siaga, one thing me know, you say poor people, remember me I tell you, man, he met them nice. Unlike you, Mr. Andrew Holness, me no know where you have against poor people, but you narrate poor people. R.I.P. blinds, who no. Now this next clip is of an elder. I'm want you to pray with the elder saying to people. Because clearly Mr. Andrew Holness, it doesn't seem like he wants to win a third term with all that everything we do right now. We're just showing him up in the wrong light.
There's an outstanding matter, Prime Minister. We know you have to leave us soon. The people of Jamaica have been asking the questions. When last I spoke to you in February, I put the question to you about your statutory declarations. You told me that you had written to the Integrity Commission and you were awaiting a further response from them. Have you had that response? And what was the response?
To me, I've written back to them. They have written to me. I've written back to them, and it is still a matter for the Integrity Commission. Like you, I too am anxious to have this matter resolved.
But what is the nature of the issue that you keep having to respond about?
Well, the general issue of the Integrity Commission is that they do an entire audit on your financials and your personal finances, and for me, going back several years. And that takes time because it is just not my response alone that they have to await. They have to await the responses of several other agencies, entities. It's a very detailed process. And I don't want to comment on it too much because the nature of the process is that the Integrity Commission is the entity that really should give the final disclosure and approval. So I humbly await the Integrity Commission's
But aren't you worried that you're bleeding political capital over this issue while they are silent on it?
Well, you know, it's one of those things you deal with politically. As I said, it is the process, and I have followed the process as best as I can, and I can only await the Integrity Commission. I am in an invidious position because I am the one that has to ensure that the law is respected. I am in an invidious position because I am the one that has to ensure that the law is respected, and therefore you will never hear me make any complaint, even if I feel it has been unfair and unduly so to me. You will never hear me complain.
There's an outstanding matter, Prime Minister. We know you have to leave us soon.
No more if a pre-way the man you say no. Pre-way ma say. And then me I go show you something. Me I show you something.
Jamaicans, open on the third eye. Open up on the third eye and look. But by the way, did you know you have a third eye? Yes, utilize it. Look. And when you see it, speak it. Do you think that this administration want a third term? No, they don't want it. Jamaicans are the best actors in the world. So they will make it seem as if they want a third term. But they knew the journey is gonna hard to get it. They knew that if they got it, it's gonna be rough, it's gonna be tough on them. Right? So all they are doing, they are securing as much and preparing as much for when they are out of office. Jamaicans, open on the third eye and look. These people are actors, and they will have to do all that they are doing now to make it seem as if they want to be there when the next election call. And I'm not talking about Beryl, although Beryl helped to expose their intention that they are trying so very hard to cover up. But the writing was on the wall for those whom have the ability to look through their third eye. Me not say no more. Alright? Argument done.
I'm gonna hear me telling us that Andrew Holness is not the government. Yeah, this hurricane now showing us say the government doesn't have no money for help the people them if a crisis hit. Now these private sectors, these rich families were taking over Jamaica from colonial times are the ones who actually run in Jamaica, and these people are the ones them Andrew Holness is working for. Andrew Holness make sure say they are right, because as I said, they are the one who running the country.
Welcome to Jamaica, an island renowned for its vibrant culture, beautiful landscapes, and rich history. But behind the scenes, a select group of families wield significant influence over the island's economy. Today, we delve into the world of Jamaica's 21 most powerful families. Our journey begins with the colonial history that set the stage for their dominance.
Now, in today's broadcast, I'm gonna share with you two of those rich family, and then as I go on in other broadcasts, I will share all the 21 of them, because I do not want to make this video too long for share the 21 families in this video. So on hit the subscription button, hit the notification button, so anytime I upload these videos, you can be notified. Now in today's video, we are gonna look at Michael Leachin, and we are gonna look on Edward Seaga, who is Andrew Holness' mentor and the person who Andrew Holness is aiming to be just like once him finish with politics. Cause as you can hear Andrew Holness saying this broadcast, him done with political popularity. Him no want that. What him want? Legacy.
Look.
I passed the stage of trying to, or needing to win political popularity and favor. Doesn't matter to me anymore. I have to start to think about legacy.
The Seaga family's legacy in politics and culture remains influential, although their direct political power has diminished. The Seaga family has an estimated net worth of $100 million.
I passed the stage of trying to, or needing to win political popularity and favor. Doesn't matter to me anymore. I have to start to think about legacy.
Like where him former mentor left in Jamaica.
The Seaga family. Edward Seaga was a prominent political figure and former prime minister, also made significant contributions to business and culture. He founded West Indies Records Limited, which became the most successful record company in the West Indies. He sold the company to Byron Lee, and it was renamed Dynamic Sounds. His family continues to be influential in both areas. Metri Seaga, a cousin of the late Edward Seaga, is a well-known businessman in Jamaica. He is the head of Jamaica Fiberglass Products and has been involved in various business ventures. The Seaga family's legacy in politics and culture remains influential, although their direct political power has diminished. The Seaga family has an estimated net worth of $100 million. Up next, the Hazen family.
Now, the Prime Minister Michael Manley that have done so much for poor people. If you look today, he doesn't have a rich legacy, but what he give and left back for the poor people of Jamaica, it bigger than Edward Seaga legacy in bag of money, because it make sure say poor people could go to high school, could have free education, could have a trades, and all of the necessary things them were from Jamaica today, and we make many of these rich people rich today because of what the legacy where Michael Manley left back with the people. It might not be money, but me sure know say if you for ask anybody out of Michael Manley and Seaga, which one of them legacy is greater, wanna tell me down in the comment section. Check out this video, check out what I go on.
In Jamaica, establishing businesses that would eventually grow into vast empires. These families, often of Jewish, Lebanese, Chinese, and Indian descent, now control substantial portions of Jamaica's economy. Let's explore some of these influential families in detail, starting with their origins, business ventures, and impact on Jamaica's economy. At number 1, the Leachin family. Michael Leachin, a prominent business figure, leads the family's ventures in financial services. He made his fortune investing in NCB and AIC Limited. He is the president and chairman of Portland Holdings, a privately held investment company. His younger brother Wayne Chun is the chairman of Superplus Food Stores. Their investments in these critical sectors demonstrate their broad economic impact. Michael Leachin is listed on the Forbes billionaires list with an estimated net worth of 1.5 billion US dollars. At number 2, the Stewart family.
Because it seems like this government broke like buckle and a fair look donation to take care of the people them in the hurricane crisis. Poor Jesus.
The Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, Cabinet Ministers, President of the Senate, the Honorable Tom Tavares Vinson, Permanent Secretaries, the Honorable Michael Leachin, Chairman of the NCB Financial Group, NCB executives, in particular Bruce Bowen, the CEO, welcome. Specially invited guests or members of the private sector, members of the media, good afternoon. Now, last week was a difficult week, but again, we were spared and we saw again the resilience of Jamaica and Jamaicans in action. But we know that there are many that have been affected by Hurricane Beryl, primarily on the South Coast. And this event this afternoon is about getting relief to Jamaicans who desperately need it. And so we are very fortunate in Jamaica to have a private sector that stands shoulder to shoulder with the government, not only in prosperous times, but also in times of crisis. The collaborative efforts we will see today are not new. They're part of a long-standing tradition of partnership that this administration has nurtured, whether it's through investments that drive economic growth, initiatives that enhance education and healthcare, or today, the contributions that will support the Hurricane Beryl relief and recovery efforts. The private sector has consistently played a pivotal role in our national development. This enduring partnership is a cornerstone of our collective resilience and progress. Today will be a very short program. We're actually thinking it will be maybe closer to half an hour. There are not a lot of speakers. We're going to get to the point. The Prime Minister broke from Cabinet to launch this event. We have several cabinet ministers in here. There are a lot of work to do. Our work is about getting the recovery efforts ongoing, and as such, we will move past this very important event as quickly as we can. And so first up in the program, I invite Ms. Cherie Martin, CEO of NCB Foundation and Executive Vice President of Retail Banking at NCB, to bring greetings and to tell us more about this wonderful initiative. Ms. Cherie Martin. Thank you. I've always felt that this is home and that this is where we have to build. Playing our part. Thank you. See, I told you no long speeches today, and I want to thank you, Cherie, for outlining that program and the awesome work that the NCB Foundation continues to do. Our next speaker is none other than the Honorable Michael Leachin. He is a true success story. I don't know how much we could say about him. He's a son of Jamaica. He's an example of our exemplary Jamaicans that have gone to the diaspora and done fantastic things, but have always felt that this is home and that this is where we have to build. And the Honorable Michael Leachin, again, is showing that leadership, showing that strong support for Jamaica in this initiative. We know it was his thinking that led us to this, and we thank you for that. And I now invite the Honorable Michael Leachin to speak to you.
Thank you very much. All protocols observed. I think you don't know me. I can be loquacious. Anyway, to put things in perspective, Gilbert has historically been the most devastating hurricane we've had. Gilbert. In 2023 dollars, Gilbert would have caused about 2.5 billion US dollars worth of devastation. Next up would be Ivan, $920 million. Next up, 1951, when the year I was born, Charles, $650 million in 2023 dollars. Next up, Charlie again, 2004, 470. And a list of 5 here, Dean, 2007, $428 million. So the question is, where would Beryl rank in this league table? Based on the trajectory, the glancing nature, the intensity, it is ranked somewhere between Ivan and Gilbert. Somewhere between Ivan and Gilbert. Based on the glancing nature of what we experienced. But on Wednesday, we didn't think it was going to be glancing, did we? We think we're going to get a direct hit. So last Wednesday, all of Jamaica was waiting with nervous breath. All of Jamaica, all of us here, were waiting with anxiety, fear that devastation was coming. The only question was how bad the damage to property, business, infrastructure, human lives would be. That was the only question. I just came back from my nice, cushioned, air-conditioned office with internet, lunch served, spoke to clients, drove here, didn't see any trees lying across the road. It's easy for us to be lulled and not realize that we had nothing to do with the above conditions. We had nothing to do with it. It's only by the grace of God that we didn't get a direct hit. And had we gotten a direct hit, it would have been totally different. We wouldn't be sitting here today. Meanwhile, our brothers and sisters in Westmoreland, South Manchester, and Hanover, their lives are completely in shambles. In shambles. And it wasn't their invitation. Pardon me? St. Elizabeth, sorry. Tommy. St. Vincent. Yes, their lives are in shambles, complete shambles. Farm crops devastated. What does that mean? When you lose a crop, it means you just can't go and plant the same day, next day. It means you have to wait another year for the season to come back, for planting season to come back. So what's going to happen for cash flow during that interim year? Roofs taken off, furniture blown away. Most of our brothers and sisters had no insurance. Their future is up in the air. No light, no communication, total devastation. That's just down the road. Yet us sitting here, not feeling it, tasting it, hearing it, being there, we would not think that just down the road that is happening. So, what are we going to do about it? Ladies and gentlemen, those of us who were spared by the guiding hand, the divine guiding hand, we have a responsibility. Because had we not been spared, we'd have had to dig in our pockets and replace roof, replace furniture, etc., etc. But we're spared. Our brothers and sisters down the road were not spared. They'll have to dig into their pocket, and in fact, they have no pockets to dig into. So once we realize that, and we realize that we are brothers' keepers, it behooves us all to say, what am I going to do to make sure that the future, the immediate future, the medium-term future, and the long-term future of my brothers and sisters, they feel a little more comforted? What am I going to do? So it is in that vein why NCB on Friday decided to make this contribution. But this contribution, given what I've said in terms of the cost in 2023 dollars of the various hurricanes. This contribution is equivalent to $2 million. Is a drop in the bucket. This is just a catalyst to encourage other corporations, Jamaicans, to do the same and step up. So I thank you very much. I have to say to my NCB team, I really thank you for what you've done over the last, from Friday afternoon until now, because we have engaged foreign NGO partners like Food for the Poor in Canada and America Friends of Jamaica in the US. So the diaspora community, whenever they make an investment, they can get a tax write-off for their investment because of what we have set up. And then that same dollar, which will be less than $1 that they're going to put in, will be, because of the tax credit, when it comes to Jamaica, it will be doubled. So there's tremendous leverage. So I want to thank the NCB team for doing all of that work to get us here today to maximize the leverage we will get out of the contributions. But it's not going to stop at 300 million. It can't. So, ladies and gentlemen, those of us who can, should. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And you heard it. This is a catalyst for us to do more. And we're expecting to do more. There is a lot of damage. We've heard 1 billion in terms of certain areas. The health sector said 1 billion, and others are giving their estimates of the damage. So it's a lot of support that is needed. And this is just a catalyst for everything else. We're going to go very quickly on now to the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today should not be a day of too many formalities, but since I have the Honorable Michael Leachin here, I will acknowledge him with his full formal title. But generally, we just say Mike. And of course, the members of the cabinet who are here with us, our permanent secretaries and members of the private sector. I'm seeing the president of the PSOJ, Metro Siaga, here, and other members of civil society who have joined us. Mike tried to give you an assessment as to what the cost of the hurricane could be. I'm not in a position to do that just yet. We have varying estimates, but I'm certain that if agriculture were to give you what their full estimate is versus what the utility companies would give versus what health would give, it would be far more than the damage wrought on us by Gilbert. It's a different kind of damage that Hurricane Beryl caused. Certainly, there is more to damage now than then. And so the impact of the hurricane, though not a direct one, as you have described it, a glancing blow, but it has also come at a period of time when we have been experiencing, I want to describe it properly, Mike, because it's important that Jamaica understands that for the last 8 years, almost every 2 years, we have been hit by some form of natural disaster. Maybe not to the extent of a hurricane, but you would consider that we had Eta, we had Zeta, we had, all kinds of tropical storms and depressions, heavy rains. The last one was heavy rains that flooded out St. Thomas and Portland and parts of St. Andrew. And almost routinely on a biennial cycle, Montego Bay and surrounding communities would be flooded out. All of these have a fiscal impact, a financial impact that obviously is leading up to this greater event. So you couldn't look at burial in isolation. In other words, For the past 8 years or so, roads have been flooded out, blocked, scoured, landslides, bridges damaged, and those costs keep piling up. I mean, we try to repair, but we can't repair all. So one climate event would not be the total aggregator of the cost of the events to us. It is important and instructive, therefore, that the country understands how the government is treating with this. We have been treating with this by virtue of, one, ensuring that we mainstream climate resilience in everything that we do. So we are mainstreaming climate resilience in our budgeting process by building buffers and reserves and by literally budgeting for storms, so that when a climate event happens, we're not forced into a position where we have to borrow. We may borrow, but we are not forced into borrowing. And what happened before is that every climate event pushed us into more borrowing. So a part of our debt trap was as a result of having to borrow to recover from climate events. So we're trying to avoid going down that trajectory. But Jamaica has such a great brand that when we are hit by a crisis, global philanthropy and local philanthropy will chip in and help. But that is not going to be enough. That can help you in the 2 or 3 weeks of the crisis. But the country has to have its economic and financial house in order to carry out the recovery. So we have, Mike, a long-term plan and a well-laid plan for this. So there is a perspective being shopped around that the recovery should be quick, and that's what we want. And there are those who are setting the expectation that the recovery will be next day, without taking into consideration some very practical concerns. You know, you can have a quick recovery, but not a full recovery. You can have a quick recovery, but not a sustainable recovery. And what we want is a sustainable recovery in every dimension of the crisis. The dimension of the crisis that we're looking at today is how do we manage public, corporate, civil society, philanthropy, and donations. That's what we're looking at today. And Mike stepping forward, as many other persons in the private sector and civil society are doing, but they may not be coming to stand in ceremony like us. And we acknowledge them and thank them and encourage them. But it is important that the government creates a space where the corporate philanthropy and the civil society philanthropy can be coordinated and organized. Because you could have a quick recovery of everyone running to give to the names that they hear, the parts of the country that appear more on television, where you're going to get the most PR branding, whilst there are others that are neglected because they have no access, they have no visibility or any voice. So my job as Prime Minister is to make sure that every dimension of this crisis is properly covered. We want to do it speedily, but we want to do it correctly. So with a donation like this, where Mike is using his strong corporate reputation, his brand, NCB's brand, to essentially give some leadership to corporate giving and to incentivize it. Now, Mike, did you say what the amount is? I'm told it is 1.5 billion Jamaican. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
This is a catalyst.
Oh, we wish we could have that. But so we're starting off with NCB's commitment of an initial 20 million and a commitment to match, and that is the catalyst, every donation made to ODPEM. So essentially, I am here today saying, match Mike's ante. Come on. You know, every corporate entity now should put in and let NCB match. So it is a good start. And I'm expecting that we will see corporate entities pitching in what they can. You know, 1 million here or 5 million here. Who knows? Maybe somebody will say, I'll give 30 million to show up Mike. Who knows, you know? But so I'm encouraging. And of course, our diaspora. Many of them have been calling, trying to get in touch with their loved ones. And I can understand the fear that they may have not being in touch. Tomorrow, I'll give a report as to where we are. By now, most people would have had contact and would have had a better understanding of what the challenges are. So yes, there's going to be a lot of direct giving from the diaspora, but we also encourage the diaspora to give to the national cause. Because if you give, NCB Foundation is going to give more. So it's as you say, a catalyst and an incentive. And of course, there are international organizations that are contributing. And we have had a number of them already reach out. So the government's role in this is to, first of all, acknowledge this effort by Mike, to endorse it, and to congratulate the NCB Foundation on doing this, and then to recommend it strongly to others to follow. And of course, in a crisis, we are never too proud to say we need the help and thank you for considering us. And so that is my appeal today. We do need the help. I have toured some areas of Jamaica, and I'm almost afraid to call the names because it may overshadow other areas that have been hit but not focused on. Because though there are some areas where the severity is higher, there is a general, right across the country, dislocation that, you know, eventually we're going to need to help. So as a matter of focus, we're going to focus on the severe areas, but generally we're going to need to help. But I think the people in, you know, Rocky Point and Portland Cottage in Southeast Clarendon and on that southern belt would want the nation to know that they have been badly hit as well. I think the people in the southern end of St. Elizabeth, they would want the country to know that they have been badly hit as well. I think the people in Hanover would want to, you know, would want some attention paid on them from the national media. And in St. Thomas as well, they would also want to know, and in some areas of St. Anne. So we know the areas of damage. We have been doing the assessment. We know. And we appreciate your patience and we understand the frustration. But what I'm doing here is a part of the response process. That if we get contributions coming in, then we can immediately start to channel them into areas that could help to solve some of your needs. We today will be creating a website which was done in pretty quick time. It is the Disaster Fund website. It's called Disaster Fund, all one word, .opm.gov.jm. So this is part of creating this coordinated platform. Let me repeat that. It's the Disaster Fund website, disasterfund.opm.gov.jm. This website will serve as our centralized source of information and statistics on the impact of Hurricane Beryl, as well as a single source to accept donations from persons who want to support the national relief effort. Anyone locally or overseas with a Visa or MasterCard, debit or credit, can go on the site and make a donation. Donations received will be matched by the NCB Foundation up to a limit of $150 million. One of the reasons we established this official portal is to provide assurance to persons who want to donate that their donations are going to the right place and will be put to good use. Again, please make sure that you go to the correct website. It's something that we always have to be so careful in today's world, that somebody's going to try and do something to mimic or copy the website. Let me repeat that the correct website, the one that you should go to and make your donation, is Disaster Fund, one word, disasterfund.opm.gov.jm. disasterfund.opm.gov.jm. And for those who would prefer to donate by a bank transfer, you can use the account numbers on the website to donate directly to ODPEM. ODPEM is our disaster preparedness and emergency management agency. They have an established account, and the details for that account is on the website that I just gave you. So on behalf of the government of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Michael Lee Chin, Mike, and to the NCB Foundation for their vision, generosity, and unwavering commitment to Jamaica's recovery. I am filled with hope and confidence in our ability to overcome this challenge and to emerge stronger than ever. You know, another word for crisis is opportunity. And as I drove through Jamaica and I saw the devastation, I saw the crisis, but I am seeing so many opportunities for Jamaica to recover stronger. So yes, it is all about now a mindset. You may not have electricity now, you may not have water, but don't let that create a mindset of doom and gloom, a pall of negativity that will essentially become a self-fulfilling prophecy if you allow it. Let us take a positive attitude. Let us take an attitude of hope, an attitude of resilience, that we will recover from this stronger. And we've gone through many crises before, and you can, by virtue of just looking back at the COVID pandemic and how we recovered amazingly well and rapidly, with all the criticisms and all the difficult decisions that we have had to make, we recovered as one of the strongest islands in the region. We're taking a similar approach, but we are also taking a learning approach, because nothing was perfect. And therefore, the errors and gaps, we have seen them, and we're making sure that those errors and gaps are not repeated. But we're also seeing the opportunities, and we're grasping them. So, my fellow Jamaicans, it is a rough time. And for the areas that I have toured, I want to say to the people there, I see your pain, I feel your pain, and I'm working as hard as I can to make your recovery as quickly as possible, but to make it as sustainably as possible. And I think that the NCB Foundation has made a step in that direction of quick recovery, but sustainable recovery. God indeed blessed Jamaica. May God continue to bless Jamaica.
Now, my viewers and my subscribers, I don't know what you make of what Andrew Holness just said in that broadcast, but I'm going to give my 2 cents on what I make of what Andrew Holness saying. Now, I'm pretty sure that the private sectors, they are not happy with Andrew Holness governing right now of the public purse, because right now it seems like Andrew Holness never put on nothing for this rainy day. Car, I'm going to ask the question, what if the NCB, Michael Chin never step in right now and say, well, you know what I mean, him a go start this whatever donation thing or donate 20 million. That means all of those people that are without light and water, where would the money come from if the private sector haven't stepped in? Now with that, you can let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and thanks for watching. Do like and share, and also hit the post notification so you can be notified anytime I upload my next content.